Welcome to Nebraska Preps Postgame with your hosts, Mike Sautter and Jacob Padilla.
Hey everyone, Mike Sautter with Jacob Padilla back again for another episode of Nebraska Preps Postgame. We have a lot of girls to talk about this weekend. There's a lot of really good matchups, so we're going to talk about a little more girls this week. Obviously, there's some boys action we'll get to too, but let's just start, I guess, with girls basketball. We have the Omaha
Friday
North,
night.
Omaha North and North Star game. You were there. Yeah. I watched it online. North kind of controlled it and then didn't and then won.
Yeah. Fascinating matchup here. Obviously, the top two teams at this point in the season. North Star was undefeated. North has obviously been on the run since they got everybody in the lineup. And it was kind of the question, all right, who would handle the unique playing style of the other better? Because nobody's really been able to solve that 1-3-1 for North Star this season. And obviously North, their ability to pressure you and Tania Wilson-Smith on the offensive glass and just rebounding in general is a problem. And so you're wondering kind of which of these strengths would win out, which one would be able to figure out the other a little bit better. And North, their physicality, their pressure ended up winning out. And it was close in the first half. Then North closed the half on an 11-1 run, and for a 10-point lead going into the locker room, and they kind of maintained it. North Star made a couple of runs. They cut it down to 6 a couple of times. North Star would stretch it back out, North would stretch it back out, and North led by 10 with 3 minutes to play. And credit to the Gators who continue to battle. They cut it all the way to 3 with a minute to play, and they got the stop they needed, or they got the miss they needed. And Tania Wilson-Smith there on the offensive glass. That was a huge part of the first half. How they got the lead is just crushing that zone on the offensive glass. And she got the offensive rebound, got fouled, split the free throws to make it a 4-point game. Then North Star turned it over, and then North kind of closed it out with free throws there for the 53-45 win. So North Star undefeated no more. North will be number one when our polls go up as
later today.
Today. As we record this on Monday. So congrats to the Vikings who have continued to kind of round into form. And again, that offensive rebounding, like Tania Wilson-Smith, she 17 points, 15 rebounds, including 8 on the offensive end, 6 assists. She was a monster. And as a team, they had 15 offensive rebounds against the North Star zone. And they didn't shoot the ball well. The zone forced the misses. They just couldn't handle her, especially on the offensive glass, and that ended up being a separator. Maya Jo Matoyer went on a heater in the third quarter. She's capable. No matter how many shots she's missed, she's not going to stop shooting, and eventually she's probably going to settle into a stretch here where she hits 2, 3, 4 shots in a row and scored 9 in the third.
And she was getting to the paint, obviously, you don't want them to set up in their 1-3-1. So they were pushing the pace a lot, North was, and she was getting to the paint. That floater was working.
Yeah, and especially in that third quarter, like I said. And Anna Hill, 11 points, 5 rebounds, was really good as well. So those 3 kind of led the way for North. And North shot under 40% from the field, but 15 offensive rebounds. They forced 17 turnovers and held North Star to 4 of 18 from 3. So, they did the things they needed to overcome what North Star typically does well. And Annie Lou had 11 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, at 11 points, including a big 3 late from Kendall Anderson. But KJ Pinton fouled out, finished with 11 points, and that was huge for their ability to finish that game. It was few minutes left in the fourth quarter. So they had to play without her. So impressive win for North, who again is they certainly look like the favorite now.
Yeah,
the way this game played out, North Star again, it was a 3-point game with a minute to go.
Right.
So North Star is still very, very good and very hard to play against. I think both these teams will be fine and would not be shocked to see a rematch down the road.
Yeah, North was, I guess, leading by about 10, 11, 12, pretty much the whole game. They
got up to 13 in the fourth quarter and got it down to 3. So
I was saying they were kind of in control-ish, it felt like, the whole game without being there, just watching it. So,
like I said, it really was that run to end the first half where things just started spiraling for North Star. And so there was also another 1 versus 2
Right.
On Friday night that in Class B with Bennington and Norris, and Bennington survived, just escaped 46-45 in overtime. I was trying to watch it on my phone while I was sitting there at North, and I believe it was Skylar Johnson, the game-winning free throws, and then they got the stop they needed on the last possession. She had 12 points, hit 2 threes, and 6 free throws. I mean, both teams had a chance at the end of regulation to win it, and couldn't capitalize, and then back and forth throughout the overtime, and then Johnson hit those free throws to win it for Bennington, who continues to roll on. But Norris, that was an impressive showing for them. Obviously, they saw each other in the EMC tournament, and so this is round 2 this season, and again, another one that I'm sure we'll good chance of seeing that again down the line.
Pius actually goes to Norris, I believe, on Friday night.
That was what I was going to. Yeah, that's what I was going to highlight at the end here. It's a big one in girls basketball this week. Norris held Bennington to 30% from the field. Held Macy Reiner held Macy Reiner. She took her 20 points to get her, or 20 shots to get her 13 points. Harper Boaboy also. Those two combined for 24 points on 11-35 shooting. So those are two best players. Norris did a good job of defending them, but Johnson stepped up in the clutch and hit those free throws. And Norris only shot 32% and 20 turnovers. So not quite enough to get it done there. But Norris bounced back, saw them play Papio South, commanding win in the Nebraska Prep Classic on Saturday. And Norris still, again, very good team still. You have Landry Gates is having a great season. Marley Emerson played really well on Saturday as well. They've got good guard play. So Norris will continue to be a factor down the stretch here, but Bennington found a way. I mentioned Nebraska Preps Classic, Nebraska Prep Classic over there at Sokol, the 2-day thing. You had Friday and into Saturday. You had Millard West on Friday night.
Right.
48-51 loss to Sioux City Heelan. Had I think a three at the buzzer that didn't go, that could have sent it to overtime. Just tough night. Millard West shot 27% from the field, only hit 5 threes. They couldn't get Kylie Pabin going, and nobody else was able to really step up either. And that's kind of the problem we've seen with Millard West. There are stretches where if Pabin isn't hitting, then it's just really hard for them to score, and she certainly wasn't on Friday night, but they still gave themselves a chance. They battled long enough in that game to keep it close, just couldn't quite pull it out. But a couple other big ones. Austin was here for exclusive donkey reporting on Saturday as well for Pender against Council Bluffs, St. Albert. And St. Albert was a really good team. Like they had only lost once or twice going in, right, Austin?
Yeah. They had only had one loss going in, and then took that early lead in the first quarter. And it looked like the size of St. Albert's was going to be the downfall for Pender, which was interesting because they'd matched up with Millard North at the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase a couple of weeks ago. Size wasn't a big issue then. It was in the first quarter there. But then the next 24 minutes was all Pender the entire time. Yeah,
so the Pender was down 14-7 after the first quarter. They outscored St. Albert 50-17 the last 3 quarters. Just totally figured things out, got themselves going. They were just ice cold in the first quarter. They got a lot of good looks that just didn't go in, and eventually the shots did start to fall. Myra Hansen scored 20, and that's the thing. It wasn't even Hadley Walsh and Madeline Dolliver that were going off and leading the way. Madeline Dolliver didn't take a shot in the second half. She only scored 6 points, only took 5 shots. And yet they still won by 26 because you have someone like Hansen who was empowered, confident, aggressive, looking for her shot.
I was most impressed by her in the fact that with all of the big names that they've had through all these state championships the past 3 seasons, Myra's not afraid to be the player when they need her to be, and they needed her to be in that second quarter too. Yep.
And so she finished with 20. Hadley Walsh got going after a slow start. 18 points, 10 rebounds. And I'm just so impressed with Pender and the way they play. Just the 5-out, the decision-making, the drive, kick, make the extra pass, drive, kick, just the shot selection, the ability for everybody out there to be a threat, the way they share the ball, the decision-making.
They also played pretty fast.
Yeah. And defensively, they were really strong as well. So, Pender, Yeah, they're not slowing down anytime soon here. They look very much in line to win another state title. It's my first chance seeing them play this season. Obviously, we saw them play quite a lot this summer. And they're going to be really good again.
Yeah. And they're motivated by the donkey.
They're probably, it's okay.
Yeah,
it is true.
Go check out Austin's interview with Hadley after the game for more Pender donkey content. Moving on, the kind of girls capper, I believe, on Saturday was Malcolm and Bishop Neumann. And Bishop Neumann, they kind of made it competitive. They stuck in it for a while, but Malcolm ended up winning 75-59. 29 points for Hallie Dolliver and 21 for Sister Peyton. So
how many rebounds she had?
I did not see. Didn't see the full box score up yet. Just know that those two went off. They combined for 50, and that's probably
normal.
I was going to say that's something you wouldn't be surprised seeing in any given game. But Malcolm rolling on there. So just a fun couple of days of hoops there in girls basketball on Friday and Saturday. Glad to be able to see a lot of it. And you mentioned the big game is Pius and Norris. Pius 13-2 at Norris, and I saw Pius on Thursday at Elkhorn South, and they had a freshman, Ava Frederick, went off for 26 points. Went 9-16 from the field, 7-12 from three at Elkhorn South. Just really impressive. You had Markowski, 17 points, 9 rebounds, making a lot of plays with her length. Shot selection was better. She made some good decisions, played for her teammates. I will say, Elkhorn South freshman Emerson Johnson.
Yeah,
she's on the come up. Finished with 21 points, 5 rebounds, all in the last 3 quarters. She really got going there, and was the only reason they were still kind of within striking distance. So that should be a fun one between Pius and Norris for sure.
Hallie Dolliver in that Neumann game, 31 points. 15 rebounds.
Okay, there it is.
4 steals, 2 blocks, only 2 fouls, only 3 turnovers and 1 assist. 6 offensive
31
rebounds.
and 15? Yeah.
6 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, you think she's
it's pretty good day.
Is that
good? think she's getting healthy, settling in?
Yeah, I think she's probably doing all right. Yeah.
All right. So you want to flip over to the boys?
Yeah, let's move on to the boys.
So not a lot of the polls changed.
Not a lot of moving. I mean,
so in Class A, the top 8 remain the same. The one change is Papio South cracking the rankings at 9. They had 2 good wins to follow up that upset against Westside last week. They beat Westview, who had cracked the rankings, 58-47. Shot 8 of 21 from 3. Good balance.
Papio South's coming right now.
Yeah. Well, and they got 17 from Levi Webb, but they got 14 from Grant Beckenauer, shot 4 of 8 from 3. They got 13 from Connor Falkenberg, who shot 3 of 6 from 3, had 9 rebounds.
We should probably be talking about Connor Falkenberg a little more.
Yeah.
I think we should be also talking more Papio South, too, because that 8 to 13 range is dangerous for anyone, 1 to 7 when we get to districts.
Yeah. No question.
And we mentioned Falkenberg going into the season as kind of being that he has to be that second guy for them, and he has been. The wins they got this week is because they had the other step up again. Beckenauer shot the well. Brady Alderson had 10.7 rebounds.
Maybe
against
they just
Westview.
Needed to get the football rust off.
Yeah, for sure for some of those guys, for Beckenauer in particular. And then they followed up with a 65-63 win at Bellevue West.
Yeah.
Huge win for them. Bellevue West only shot 7 of 28 from 3. Papio South shot 10 of 23. Bellevue West only took 8 free throws, made 6 of them. Papio South went 15 of 20 from the line. So that was kind of the edge there for Papio South, and went off for 27 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 12 of 14 from the line. And Beckenauer, again, 4 of 8 from 3 for 12 points. Falkenberg, 11, hit a couple of threes. And then Kenyon Slobodny, 3 of 6 from 3 for 9 points as well. So Bryce Johnson, 17 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 steals for Bellevue West, but didn't quite get enough around him. So good win for Papios out there. So the 3 wins in a row were enough to offset losing on Saturday in the Nebraska Prep Classic. But against Johnston, I believe they just didn't shoot the ball well again. They didn't get the kind of the support. They had 24 from Webb, but not a whole lot else from anybody. So, but yeah, that not going to penalize the team for a loss like that. So we got another light week of kind of big games. Not a ton. You have Central at Westside Thursday. Is
Millard
kind of
North
frisbee,
Prep is Friday.
and then that was the other one. And then you also have the hack tournament this week.
Yeah,
boys and girls.
I'll be intrigued to see how that shakes out.
Yeah, finals will be on Saturday of that one.
Yeah.
Semis could be potential. Seedings hole, we might see a Southwest Southeast rematch on the boys' side. And then you got North Star down on the other side, Lincoln High potentially game there, so that could be a fun one.
Yeah,
so
the outside of the hack tournament and the two biggest games are the Central West Side game Thursday and then Prep Millard North Friday. Yeah.
Yep. All right. In Class B, also the top 8 mostly the same, except for Elkhorn North jumped up to 3 and Scottsbluff.
I think it's because the Scottsbluff lost to Ogallala.
That's what we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
So you're jumping ahead of me. Let me get through it.
Whoa!
Hey, I was just trying to set you up. I was trying to set you up.
I was going to set you up. Scottsbluff.
Right,
so
not
Scottsbluff.
Everyone can assist everyone. All right. Someone shoot the ball.
Too unselfish over here. Scottsbluff dropped to 4 after losing to Ogallala, and man, we talked about what a show that game was going to be.
Yeah.
74-62 win for Ogallala, who, man, they just have Scottsbluff's number here.
Listen, guys, Ogallala is very good. Yes. Like, I've seen them 3 times, two times. They're very good. Like, they're very good.
Yeah. So, key here, Sawyer Smith, 25 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 9 of 13 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. Hard to be much better than that. Tanner DeCastro, 28 points, 11 of 16 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3.
That's big time.
So, that's we talked about. He is the one that makes them different. Mm-hmm. Obviously,
size.
Yeah, we know how good Smith is and how productive he can be, and those guys play together really well. And Ryland Gilmore did not attempt a shot from the field, had 3 points, all from the free throw line, but 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and 4 steals. And again, that's what makes them good. You had these other 2 guys cooking. Mm-hmm. Gilmore's fine to play distributor and get them looks and get the ball to the hot hands.
Even Gillen can hit shots and stuff and controls the pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wasn't in this one, but that's why DeCastro stepping up is so important and why they have so many weapons. Because, we saw what Gilmore did against Olathe South in that second half of that game. Whether it's distributing or scoring, Gilmore can get going, and then we know Smith is the most productive player in the class, and
he's the most productive player in the state.
He's certainly an argument for that. So huge win for Ogallala, who continues on being, and I think the respect that they have garnered from the coaches is why Scottsbluff only dropped 1 spot after losing to a lower class team, because everybody at this point knows how good Ogallala is. They can compete against pretty much anybody. So, and the other kind of change, you had Platteview to 10 after Gretna dropping out after Platteview beat Gretna 62-52 at the Nebraska Prep Classic. I was watching that on Friday. Levi Ekwe just totally changed that game. 16 points, 7 of 8 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. His length, rim protection. It was they put him on Trevin Wilkins because they know how dangerous he is inside the paint, getting to the basket for them, and he made life tough for him. And Ekwe did a great job of moving his feet and staying with him enough to be able to go up and block the shot or force tough misses. So he played really well, and he's 6'8". Again, if he's hitting threes to go with the rim protection there, and then also had a couple of catches and finishes just over the top, good seals, good entries. And their size and athleticism. You had Owen Troffels also played well, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, 4 assists, and he's like 6'4". So those two, kind of their length really changed that game. So that's Platteview kind of cracking in there and having off to a solid start. They are 9-7 on the season. So you have Crete and Gretna just kind of receiving votes, hanging out there in C1. Also, hey, top 8 the same. They had 9-10 flipped after Donovan Trumbull took a loss to Lincoln Christian. And also, talked about Ogallala taking care of business. Ashland Greenwood survived a tough game against UTAN.
Yeah. 49-41. That was a low score.
That's number 2 in C2, UTAN is. And
that was UTAN's first loss, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, and they've got really good guard play. And that Ashland Greenwood team is just tough defensively to score.
I'm going to jump way ahead here. But looking at the schedules, the February 14th game at the Heartland Hoops Classic between Ogallala and Ashland Greenwood should be a pretty good game.
Yeah. State title preview?
Both likely going to be undefeated at that point, maybe. That one will be.
I forgot that was a matchup.
Yeah. That's a big-time game.
That's looks like the headliner of that event this year with no out-of-state teams coming in. So, looking forward to that. Derek Tondras, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists to lead Ashland Greenwood in the win. In C2, Tri-County dropped from 7 to 8 after we just talked about their run through the Mudecas, and then Johnson County Central got them back. West Swanson, 27 points in the win for JCC, and that dropped Tri-County a spot. EMF jumped up a spot, and EMF gets a rematch at Johnson Brock from the Mudecas semis on Tuesday. Another big one. We've got another kind of class crossover. Number 4, Norfolk Catholic, and D2 number 2, Archangels Catholic.
Yeah, I was going to
face off on Thursday.
That's a big game. I mean, Archangels' one loss is to Howells-Dodge, who's a very good team. And Norfolk Catholic kind of has come along a little bit. So the Howells-Dodge now has one loss. Big time win for Pender boys. Their girls, obviously, we talked about and are doing very well. But that was an overtime win for Pender against Howells-Dodge. So that one was,
And Howells-Dodge remained at number 1 in the D1 poll because there's still only one loss. And number 2, Elm Creek, took a loss at Alma. That being said,
that game was nuts. Elm Creek Alma was insane. So the kid who hits the game-winning shot 2 games prior becomes Alma's all-time leader in rebounds for school history. Then
Xavier Mitchell?
No, somebody else. Biscup.
Okay.
Yep. Then he also becomes the all-time points leader for Alma, too. So they have, and you mentioned Xavier, right?
Yeah.
They have 2 kids who are breaking all their all-time records. And then they hit Elm Creek hits a late 3 in the corner. Alma brings the ball down with less than 4 seconds, hits a shot, and gets the win.
Yeah.
Gigantic. I mean, just poetry in motion.
Yeah. And Quinn Oberg set the school career scoring record in that game as well in a loss, and then followed it up with the huge game in their bounce back. All kinds of record setters there. Yeah. So Lutheran High Northeast jumped up to number 2 from 4 because the Elm Creek loss, and Howells-Dodge remained at 1 because again they're 15-1. That's enough to absorb a loss.
Even a couple of coaches, one was like, okay, Pender, moved Pender up because Howells-Dodge is very good. Yeah. and they needed to be, mentioned. I think Pender ended up receiving votes this week. So, looking at it,
Pender 14-3 again, receiving votes after the big win. So, not a ton in D2. Top 5, all the same. So, that's
that Archangels Norfolk Catholic game that's big time. That's a very intriguing, I guess, matchup, if you will. Norfolk Catholic has a bunch of size, too, so be interesting to see that. That might be my game of the week. I put it up as an option, so maybe Norfolk for me on Friday, so we'll see about that.
Yeah.
We're also getting into a great time of the year because
conference tournaments.
Hack Championship Centennial this week too. Yeah. FKC's down the road. Like there's just it's a great time to see the best scores just go off.
I mean, we're also coming down to the end here.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple weeks left of the regular season.
Crazy.
So. I mean, the Heartland Hoops Classic is on Valentine's Day, February 14th. I mean, that's 2 weeks away.
Yeah. Wow.
So. And that's generally kind of like right at the end of the season. Yeah. So it's coming a lot faster than maybe what we think. One thing I want to mention before you get to your shout-outs is I was at Winnebago on Thursday. Ponca versus Winnebago. Winnebago played extremely well and won that game. And I did not know until I walked in the gym and got a roster and looked at it. David Winget is the head boys basketball coach at Winnebago, which is I got to talk with him a little bit before the game, obviously covering him, and, as much as I did. I feel like a lot, when he was in high school and throughout his recruitment and stuff. But it was really cool to see him go back and kind of give back to the team and to that community. The community's pretty special, obviously, and that it was really cool. He's doing really well, working there for the city, and so I actually saw him and his brother Matthew was there too. Yeah. So
and it's cool to see. I mean, we know how much basketball means to that community and that family, and I saw Matthew has been coaching at OSA last couple of years to get back into the game, and it's cool seeing those guys in those positions, and I think
Coach Barrage is even now stepped back to being the assistant coach for David. So it's kind of
that's pretty awesome. Yeah. To have your head coach that you guys accomplished so much together there supporting you as your first time head coach at the high school level of your high school. That's a really cool story. And I'm glad you made it out there and realized that and were able to highlight that.
Let me tell you, I very much so thought it was pretty cool. I will say Sorry, I'm trying to look up, make sure I get the name right. LaPointe.
Yeah. Ashton was the older one?
No, I'm talking right now. Oh. Which is actually David's uncle. Is a senior on the team. Yeah. So I'll find it real fast. Sorry, we're going off the fly here on this, and my mind can't remember what is happening. Really quickly, where is this? Yeah, Ashton. It's Ashton.
That's why I said that.
No, I thought I was thinking from before, but Ashton LaPointe, he's 6'3", wide-bodied dude, more of a football player guy. This dude, and I asked him after the game, I said, "Who's your favorite player? Who do you watch the most?" And it is absolutely Jokic because he plays like Jokic. I'm talking the body,
whipping the ball over the court,
and the one-footed fadeaway from the post that just goes in. I was like, this guy is baby Jokic out here. So Winnebago's very good though,
and they got a big one. They got Bancroft Rosalie this week, right?
It's coming.
So it could be a fun game too.
It's when Winnebago is good at basketball, they're 10-2 now. Yeah. They lost to Norfolk Catholic and they lost to Pender.
And we're seeing they're very good as well.
56-50, and then Norfolk Catholic beat them up a little bit. But, they have Bancroft Rosalie on Tuesday this week. So, and then South Sioux City. So, big week for them. And then they have Ashland Greenwood on the 20th. That's interesting. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I will say it again. It is a very cool story. That those guys are kind of giving back their time and whatnot. Just wanted to mention that. It was neat to kind of be there and watch them. I had no idea before I walked in. So kind of cool.
Yeah. All right. We have some shout-outs to get to and I got to get through these. They are some. Last week was a ridiculous week for individual performances.
40 pointers.
We had 3 different 40-point scores. So I'll start with Crawford senior Taylor Homan. 46 points on 16 of 29 from the field, 12 of 15 from the line, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in a 74-38 win against Hay Springs. So outscored the other team by himself. So that's a school record for Crawford. Valentine senior Isaac Cronin had 42 points on 14 of 22 shooting, 4 of 6 from 3, 10 of 13 from the line, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, and 2 steals in a 67-54 win against Chase County. That is a school record. And he followed up later in the week with 37 points on 15 of 20 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3, 6 of 9 from the line, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block in a 78-59 win against Hershey. So, 79 points in 2 games. Is that good?
Yeah,
that's pretty
decent.
good. Yeah. Cedar Bluffs junior Carter Eyring also scored 42 in a huge win over Heartland Christian. Shot 19 of 23 from the field, 3 of 7 from the line, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 10 steals. So again, that is also a school record for Cedar Bluffs. Also, we had a triple-double, another one. And McCool Junction senior Carson McDonald, mentioned him before. 21 points, 4 of 8 from 3, 10 rebounds, 10 steals, and 4 assists in a 55-38 win at BDS. Then you had Malcolm Jr., Preston Kuchera in the Nebraska Prep Classic. Went off for 38 points against Boys Town, 13 of 22 from the field, 9 of 15 from 3, 3 of 4 from the line with 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal, and a 75-35 win for Malcolm. And then finally, Madison senior Isaac Zauke, 38 points also, 16 of 23 from the field, 5 of 7 from the line, 8 steals, 4 rebounds, and an assist in a 70-46 win at Stanton. So, ridiculous week for individual performances.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it for Nebraska Preps Postgame.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.